Hello and welcome back. I've got this Hornby Railways Ivatt locomotive out. So somebody was just asking me a question about one in the comments the other day. I was actually looking for the black one but came across the green one first and thought we might as well have it out for a go on the railway. So I had a number of these sort of Hornby Railways eras things out on the Series 3 since we got it down, but some of them have been more successful than others. This one's not too bad. There is just one point, sorry, that really jumped into life more than I thought it was going to there. There is just one point that it doesn't like. Let's just roll that back again. If you have a look at that front bogie, or truck, you can see it lies at an unusual angle, and it's always worried me about these particular models. See how that sort of kicks across to the right, I suppose, if you're driving the locomotive. Let's just hold that there, have a quick look at that. So, let me see if I can get some focus there. We'll put that down there. So it sort of lies across like that, or like that. So it's not a very successful way of holding the camera. But I think I've shown that before, and it's not a terribly good idea, I don't think. I don't think it's just it's not quite long enough, the sort of arm it articulates on. So let's just roll this round here, and it's this next point that in testing that it doesn't really like very much. See there, it sort of derails there. So let's just run that again, but it's not every time. Not too bad. So I think what I'll do is I'll get the body back on this, and then we'll just pick up a couple of things. So I realise this is New Year's Eve, so we'll keep it relatively short. And we'll just see if we can have a little bit of fun with it. We might as well just have a quick look at the body whilst we've got it off the locomotive. So a nice sort of green livery. You can see lots of overspray on the underneath. But I will leave the link to the earlier video. It was in fairly grubby condition. It's cleaned up quite nicely. There we go, body all back on. Looks like quite a smart locomotive there. And I've got this small sort of cattle train here. Got an interesting group of wagons. So I think cattle wagons in the Triang department came along 1955, made through to about 1972 in this sort of, let me put this notepad down, in these sort of browny colours. And in the 70s, I think we got some sort of the dark brown or black or chocolatey brown. And there's the SR one was R.852. I think that was made from 73 to 82. I'm unsure of that one, possibly the same time frame. I think that one comes from my Freightmaster set. And then we've got these sort of more standard looking brown ones. And I think they were made between sort of 55, 72. And then we've got the brake van on the back. And this is the one that came along early 70s. And it does have a light on the back there. So let's try and have a remember to see if the light lights up when it's underway around the railway. If you have a look at the insert picture there, you can see that lighting up quite nicely. But let's get that locomotive around. We'll pick those up. Actually, there was a couple of boxes. We should have a look at a couple of boxes, shouldn't we? So there's the box for the Ivatt locomotive. Sort of mid-late 70s box. This locomotive in green came along in 78. Was manufactured till 81, I think, in the catalogue. Or was in the catalogue till 81. There's the end of the box. So R.852 BR260 Ivatt Loco. So I think the black variant came along earlier, 74 till 77. And then we got a couple of boxes for the wagons here. So we got the R106, the SR sheet wagon. So that's the one at the very end. And then we got the R107. That's the LMS brake van with the tail lamp. That was 74 to 96. I don't think it had the lamp for all of those years of production. I think it may have been dropped quite soon. I know last time I showed it, a number of people said they had them. They were worried that the light was broken. I'm pretty sure that there was they were produced with no lamp. At some period they just dropped it. So let's give this Ivatt a little bit of power. Let's get it along and see if we can pick those up. So we'll just run it through this set of points. There we go. And then let's see if we can throw the correct one in. It's going to be this one, so we want to go straight. And then let's roll this backwards now. I think we have those. And let's run that out onto the inside line. It does have magnetization, this model. The wheels are plated, so you've got a sort of slightly limited effect on these later models. I think purely because the magnet just sat a little way away from the wheel side. I'm just going to check that front set of wheels again. I think we may have just jumped off there. Let's see if we can correct that. There we go. And I'm going to close a point whilst we're at it, so we'll just make that one go that way. Let's give this some more power now. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. If you're choosing to watch on New Year's Eve, I'm sure there are plenty of other things that you could be spending your time on today. But over the last year or so, I have run a number of these sort of Hornby Railways items. I think I mentioned before, and sometimes they're more successful than others. Let's just bring that around, stepping over the cables. And then we'll bring this gently to a stop. I think what we'll do in the new year is see if we can get some of the other Hornby Railways era items out and run them on this railway. I know somebody has mentioned to me they'd love to see the classic HST run up onto the incline section and around that loop, so I think that would be definitely worth giving a go. Let's open this point up again, and we'll back this back into the siding. And again, that front truck has just jumped off, or front bogie has just jumped away there. So as you watch, if we go around the rest of the point work that we'll negotiate in a moment, you'll find we're not really having any trouble, so it could be just that combination of that particular point. But again, I'm not really having any problems with that point with any other locomotives. So, well, I haven't tried all the Hornby Railways ones, but definitely the Triang stuff is not really having any trouble with it. So let's go for that again. So we'll make that one curved. Now let's give that a little power, and we'll just keep an eye on that as it comes around. Yeah, so that's come through quite nicely that time. But I mean, you can see the angle that set of wheels is lying on the track. It's not terribly encouraging. There we go. So I'm just going to switch some more points now. Let's go for that one. And then the green one, which we can't see. And then we'll back this up. And we'll just, not quite off the points there. And have we stalled? Let's have a look. So why have I not got any movement there? Let's try that again. There we go. That's just a bit it didn't like. So let's close that point. And the other one before we forget it over there. And let's go for a little more power. Let's come down here and watch that move away. Obviously the wrong direction. And we'll run that through the station. And what I'm aiming to do is go onto the turntables. But we'll just come past this set of points and we'll set them up. So if we keep an eye on this, and then change the isolating rail, and then we'll be able to roll that backwards onto the turntable. All quite successful so far. So let's keep an eye on that lamp on there, on the housing on the far side of the turntable. So as I press the button, that works quite nicely. Lovely noise. I know some people don't like the noise that these things make, but for me that really is all part of the fun. So we'll bring that off on the other direction. I think we'll just need to change that one. There we go. And then I'm bound to turn this the wrong direction. No, got it correct. And we'll run that round there. It's not so fussy on the points that way around. So I'm just going to pop that down there, and let's just attend to this other set of points that I've forgotten. I should have done that before I walked across the room. So we'll make that one straight. Oh, there's my Freight Master set. That's where that other wagon came out of there. I think we've seen that before. I'm going to quickly lift the lid off that and have a look in there. So that's where the wagon came from. So what we're going to do is pick up these blood and custard coaches, and we'll give them a bit of a run around the railway. So back we go. And we have those. And we'll step back. Ooh, I've left a coach behind me. Let me just check the uncoupling rail here. I think we might have a fault developed with the uncoupling rail. The way it seems to be up at one end. That's not very good. We'll go with that, and we'll see if we can attend to that one later. I did get some more uncoupling rails quite recently, so let's make that one move away again. We got the full set that time. And we'll just bring that gently to a stop about there, and then I'm just going to close that. Let's give that a bit of a charge around. That's working quite nicely. Let's just put the controls down, and we'll put those there, and then we'll just catch up with it. It's quite a lovely looking thing. I don't think it's having much trouble with those coaches. There is the magnesium, but it isn't as great as you might think on this model. These mid to late 70s models really did lose the effect once you got those plated wheels and a slightly different design of wheels. So I think we'll see if we can run that onto the outside line. So actually I've gone the wrong way there. I want this one and this one. So let's see if we can come round here and get this coming through. So this is all hands free. At some point I'm going to have to slow all this down. So ideally that's going to roll around to the station. And I've got a point incorrectly set there, I think. There we go, I've got that just in time. So if I'd thought about it, I could have had that one open. So let's deal with the points behind me. So that one and that one. Because I was fooling around with this earlier and I didn't have the point set correctly. So let's just change that now. So yeah, that will just roll around and around. So what I'm going to do is split the railway into two, and we'll get the Princess Victoria running as well. So we'll make that two railways. And we need to open this one up. So I'm rambling away, trying to talk myself through which points we're going to change. So we'll get the Victoria out. So away she goes. And we'll see how that settles down. See if I can throw the relevant points without losing control of what's happening. So that's just gathering a little bit of pace, isn't it? Let's just give that the once more round, and then we'll make a fine adjustment to its power. This has turned out to be a lovely model. I'm really glad I did buy that box of bits in the end. I really wasn't going to. Yeah, let's just take the edge off that. Yeah, I think that will settle down and perhaps pick up a little bit on that when it's left to its own devices. There we go. So I'm going to grab the controls for the Ivatt and we'll see if we can get a few interesting shots of both locomotives running around the railway. So as we come around now, let's see if we can get the Ivatt to move off as well. Well, we have a bit of an accident here, and I can't remember why that is. Or I can't work out why that is, shall I say. But something's definitely come amiss there. I wonder whether this point was incorrectly set. So let's leave the Victoria running, and let's see if we can put this right. And I'm going to grab hold of the uncoupler, which is hiding here at the moment, inconveniently. Actually, we might not be as bad as I think here. It sounded worse than it was. That's definitely away. We might have got away with this. Let's give this a little bit of power and see if it'll pull that out of there. See what's happening there. Is it that one? I didn't think I had that set. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Let's see if we can resume on that. So Victoria's coming around behind. Let's see if we can get the pair of them running around the railway accident-free. It's quite satisfying when they're running nearly side by side. And this is where we had the slight accident before. That's all looking a lot better that time around. So I think that's probably about it for this time and about it for this year. So ideally we'll have some more interesting stuff as 2024 progresses. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye now. So there's the tail lamp I forgot to show earlier on. So you have to give it a fair old turn of speed before it begins to show up. It does flicker a little bit, but I think you get the general idea. Thanks again.